Welcome to Good Burger Reviews. My name is John, and I'm here to review a brand new 2026 movie, and that movie is Return to Silent Hill. This movie was released in January of 2026. It is directed by Christopher Gans. It is starring Jeremy Irvine, Hannah Emily Anderson, and Nicole Alexis. When a man receives a mysterious letter from his lost love, he is drawn to Silent Hill, a once familiar town now consumed by darkness. Straight out of the theater, just saw Return to Silent Hill, and all I can say is, what the actual... Anyhow, Alright, let me just say this. I was anticipating this one. I don't know if I was highly anticipating this one, like, I had a feeling. But what I will tell you about the Silent Hill franchise is, 20 years ago, when I saw the original Silent Hill in movie theaters, I loved it. It scared me. It had wow moments. It was awesome. It was new but different. It was fun. And I think of the first time our main girl goes down those stairs and the sirens go off and the ashes are coming down and all the creatures of this film come out. Wow. Now, I knew they weren't going to be able to recreate that magic in this one, because I did see Silent Hill 2, I think it was released in 2013, and I was like, on that one. But this one, I feel like we need to call Marty McFly and the DeLorean to go back in time, back and forth to try and figure out what in the heck even happened in this movie.
Marty! You've got to come back with me!
Where?
Back to the future!
So let's get into it. Let's break down the good, the bad, and the ugly on Return to Silent Hill. Well, in the positives, and there are some, there is the designs. The creature designs, some of the creatures that were in the original Silent Hill and in the sequel, they're there, they're intense, they're scary looking, they're disturbing. I've always loved the designs. Now this franchise has suffered with a lot of CGI, and this installment I feel like the whole thing is almost CGI. I feel like the only thing that isn't CGI in this film is the two main stars. So was I impressed with these creatures like I was back in 2006? I mean, they still look the same, but I guess after 20 years of knowing them and seeing them and watching the original one multiple times, they're not as scary. And they're definitely not as scary in this one. I mean, they are gross to look at, so I am impressed with that. Also, I'd put in the positives. I mean, it does have all the traditional bumps, spooks, haunts, all that, and a little bit more. I mean, the creatures, the bugs, the amount of the creatures, I mean, in some times it felt like I was watching Willard, and other times it felt like I was watching The Mummy. I mean, there were so many cool little references to things from other movies. Oddly enough, I even found the Final Destination 2 reference in this movie, where the Final Destination 2 log truck rolls by and almost crashes into our protagonist. But I digress. The cinematography in this film was good in some parts. There were some impressive landscape scenes, some impressive visuals. But is it enough to hold this movie over for the whole bag? And that's going to lead me into, we're going to just skip the mix and go right into the negative, because I can't even say that I'm mixed on any of it, because this movie, what was good about it was good, and what is bad about it, it's bad. So in the negative is just, the biggest negatives really is, I wasn't a fan of the main characters. I could not be connected with them. I never cared enough about him to care about what was happening to him, or the girl for that matter, or even of any of these side characters. And then with that was also the story and the storytelling. I mean, you needed a map and a compass. I mean, for as lost as the guy is in Silent Hill, is as lost as I was trying to figure out what the actual hell happened to him, his girlfriend, the town. When did this take place? Like, I'm trying to like, going by the date of birth of the girl in the movie, and they show it at one point. I'm thinking, going by when the original movie took place and when Silent Hill, had its fire and all that, trying to figure out where is this on the timeline. Then there's a VHS tape that says it's a VHS tape dated 2047. I'm thinking, wait a second, did I read that wrong? Because VHSs weren't around in 1947, so I know I saw the 47, and I'm like, 2047, but how's she born in 1991 and looking like she's 32? This movie is just too many dream sequences, too many flashbacks, too many, he's in Silent Hill, he's looking for his girlfriend, and that's pretty much it. He gets a letter from her, and there's this interjection from like a therapist who's like telling him to accept the fact that his girlfriend's dead. We as the audience, we're not even sure, is she really dead? Maybe she's dead. And as the movie progresses, and we'll get to that in my spoiler section. This movie reminded me of The Strangers Chapter 2. I just felt like our main guy, I couldn't get with him. He was making really dumb decisions. And I'm not even sure if they were dumb decisions, or if we just, like, the story is just so turned around that I'm not even sure if he's making a decision or if the entire thing is a dream. Because it's flipping too much, and he does do dumb things. Like, there's this one scene where he meets up with a girl, and he's like, she gets stabbed, and then like, he's like, oh, just stay here, you'll be safe. And I'm thinking, really? The whole world, you're like in the 9th level of hell. Where is it safe for someone who's bleeding out to wait? Nowhere.
Are you crazy? Or just plain stupid?
Stupid is, stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
I guess.
And I will just retouch on the CGI. It was too much. It was too much of a distraction. In some scene, it was so obviously fake. Like, there's this one scene where he's running down a hallway of fire, and it's like, yeah, he's literally probably running in a green screen room, and they just added flames, which the flames don't match the size of, what flames size would be compared to him. I mean, I just think in 2026, can we get the CGI? If we're going to use CGI, can we get it right? And I don't hate CGI for the Silent Hill franchise, because this movie is based on a video game. And I was wondering, walking in, am I going to walk out of this video game movie feeling like Five Nights at Freddy and Lost? Or am I going to be like, all right, I can roll with this like I did in Until Dawn, because you don't really need to have game knowledge to care about the movie that much. And honestly, I felt like I wasn't lost because of video game references. I felt like I was just lost because the movie just makes no sense.
Why are you doing this, Bobby?
Why?
Why?
You hear that, Ray? At least you want some motive. Did Scream have a plot?
No.
Did I Know You Did Last Summer make any sense?
Don't think so.
And what about the sequel? What the hell's with that fat white Jamaican
Oh,
kid?
I want to kill that mother.
Man.
It's bad casting, Bobby.
So at the end of the day, I'm going to give a spoiler warning now, because I just want to get into some spoilers, especially since a lot of my complaints have to do with the way the movie ends and some of the significant plot points, if there are any plot points I can find in here. So spoiler warning. I will put a timestamp for the rating. So this movie opens up with James driving in his fancy car, listening to some pretty cool music, and the scenery is good. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Silent Hill, ready or not, here we come. But as soon as he stops, and like, he almost gets hit by the Final Destination truck, and I'm like, oh my God, are we serious? Like, this log truck rails him off the road. And he's also on, like, this road that looks like something that was the same road that they filmed I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's like Dead Man's Curve up at the top of this hill. And then he ends up hitting this girl's suitcases. And I was like, okay. And the girl's suitcases and her clothes are flown all over the highway. And I'm like, all right, so he's going to meet a girl. So we got maybe a girl and a guy scenario going into Silent Hill. But I already felt like disconnected from them. Their acting was kind of rough. The dialogue just was like blah. But like, it's also like the fact that she hits the suitcases and then her bus is pulling up and she's like, the bus hasn't even stopped yet. The bus is clearly slowing down to stop and she's like, wait. I'm like, the bus is stopping. Why are you yelling it to wait? Like it's going to pull away. And I thought, it's the bus stop. It'll stop. But I guess maybe she was right because maybe she knows this bus because he drops the suitcase, all her clothes fall out again, and the bus, and she's like, oh, never mind, just go on. I'm like, you telling me that this bus can't wait an extra 30 seconds for you to pack up your suitcase one more time and get on and go? And no, it didn't. The bus just pulls off, and I'm like, all right, starting to feel like The Strangers Chapter 2 already. But I tell myself, all right, chill out. It's the opening. Will the creatures, the monsters, the story, will Silent Hill save what already seems to be awry? And the answer is no. So I'm glad it didn't do the exact, like, complete echo of what Silent Hill, the original, was. He shows up into Silent Hill, and it's like, I guess they play on the fact that we already know this franchise, we already know this town. So, I mean, he basically ends up on this, like, already, it's like, oh, he wakes up, and it's like, oh, you know, he's got this caseworker or therapist or whoever the heck she is that's talking to him throughout this whole movie, or at least more in the front end, telling him, you know, accept life, move on, she's dead, blah, 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 he's saying. But, you know, she chimes in and kind of pulls him out of this dreamlike state that he's in. So I'm like, was that a dream or did that really happen? And it seemed to me like it was a flashback. Because he's in Silent Hill and we're flashing back. Whenever it's bright and sunny and all beautiful and everyone's normal, then those are the flashbacks. But then whenever it's creepy and ashy and the monsters are running around, then it seems like we're in current time. And that's the only way I could really tell where or when we were. And I still don't know when we are in this movie. Because I know Silent Hill, the original, took place in 2006. You want to know how I remember why? Because there was a nice little flip cell phone in that movie, and I thought, yep, you just dated yourself. You know, you dated yourself because flip cell phones were around for like 3 years that people had them, and then smartphones came out. And that's it. Like, that is the rest of the movie. I mean, he encounters people in Silent Hill, and everyone in there seems like and it's predictable. So, like, I started predicting little things. Oh, that's going to happen. And then it happened. Like, even the creatures, even though they were scary and hard to look at, but it was predictable. And then I thought, everyone he meets is like, it is the girl. Like, most of the characters are the girl that he's looking for. But, like, she had, like, 6 names. Like, one girl was named Laura. One girl was named Angela. One girl was named Maria. And I'm like, they're all her. They're all her. Even the little kid was her. And there's this like the big reveal when he gets to her gravestone and her full name is written on it. And of course she is dead. It turns out, yeah, she died somewhere in Silent Hill. I guess she burned. I don't know. It's so confusing. And I thought, is this connected to the first one? And it seems like it is, or at least it's connected to the same cult. I wasn't sure. I felt like I was seeing characters that were in the original, but of course it's 20 years later, so who knows? But it's the same cult pulling all the strings, but they don't really delve into it. They show a lot of scenes where everyone's showing up, even in the flashbacks, acting creepy and then they're just all devils in real time. And the whole movie is the same way. So, I mean, there's not much to the story. He's looking for her, and he finally realizes, it seems like he finally realizes that she must have been dead. But he kept getting pulled back into current time or into the time with the nurse. So, and then I'm like, this had pacing issues because I was lost. It was boring. And I'm thinking, when's it ending? When's it ending? It's an hour and 46 minutes, and it felt longer. Now, I knew we were getting close to the end because it seemed like everything was verging in on him getting to a hospital to find her. Oh, and then there was another scene where I felt like The Shining, like the little labyrinth in The Shining, reminded me of The Shining. He gets in this maze thing, and it was very cut out like the maze in The Shining. So there was that. And then in the ending, like, he gets into this basement of the hospital, I guess it is, and all these things are, I guess, versions of her, because there's butterflies and all this stuff. Well, guess who's in the basement? And I thought, uh-oh, this movie's trying to become a Barty horror movie. Because he gets into the basement and he finds her, and she's basically Demi Moore and whatever the other girl's name in The Substance, like Ellie Sue. Ellie Sue is in the basement of Silent Hill Hospital. It literally looked like the multiple faces, the disturbing body horror out the butt with this character. And I thought, oh my gosh, like, I was cracking up. I'm like, that's Ellie Sue. That's literally Ellie Sue. So, and it was a short-lived Substance moment in this film, and it's part of the ending. Like, I guess it's part of him realizing that she's dead because she's in hell. She's in one of the 9 circles of hell, I guess. I mean, that is the one positive about this franchise. They do a great job of the atmosphere and the setting, and the town of Silent Hill is still awesome, but with no story and no characters to care about, it's not really worth caring about. So I think I'm going to just wrap it up with that. I'm going to get into the rating. So this is going to be a disappointment because I mean, I love Silent Hill, the original movie. Like I said, I think it would have been in the top 10 movies of 2006. And unfortunately, Return to Silent Hill couldn't save itself from anything. Couldn't make no sense. I'm giving it a spam. A spam burger. It's rough. It's bad. I mean, I do not recommend this one. I don't know even if I will try to watch it again. Maybe just watch the original one. Silent Hill, the original one, is awesome. I don't know if that movie warranted such a big franchise. I feel like maybe they could. You know what they could really do? A prequel. And I don't know if this was trying to be a prequel, but like a movie more about how Silent Hill went to what it is would be better than this. And I feel like maybe this touched on it a little bit, but it did not draw it out enough. So skip it. So this is Johnny with Good Burgers saying, don't forget to stay scared of all those crazy, wacky creatures that come out of the woodwork at night in Silent Hill.